This is KGW News at noon.
This ordinance, as drafted, is objectively unreasonable.
That attorney is talking about Portland's daytime camping ban. It's on hold this noon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brenda Braxton. So, you know, there's been a lot of back and forth over this, and today KGW's Thomas Schultz has more on the big win for a group of homeless people suing the city.
It was a big win for Portland's homeless, with Judge Rima Gandor finding that their lawyers made a sufficient showing to keep the status quo in place. Now, it is a big blow for Mayor Ted Wheeler's plan. Last month, he announced enforcement of the ordinance would begin on Monday. The proposed ban would not allow public camping from 8 in the morning until 8 at night. It would also block camping near schools or in public parks. After 3 warnings, penalties can include jail time and a $100 fine. Now in court, lawyers for homeless Portlanders argued the ordinance is vague and difficult to understand. Many homeless people aren't sure what the city considers to be a campsite. Still, attorneys for Portland say the city has the right to decide what public land can be used for camping and what cannot. They claim the daytime camping ban ordinance is not a broad ban on camping because it doesn't stop people from standing, sleeping, or lying down in public places. Though throughout the hearing, both sides sparred over what was actually allowed in the ordinance, with attorneys for the homeless saying it would make lives of the most vulnerable that much more difficult.
They're going to hide from the police, and they're going to try not to die of exposure, and they're going to try not to get arrested for camping. So they're going to go places where they're not easily visible.
In response to the pause, Mayor Ted Wheeler says the status quo isn't working. He says the city will abide by the delay, though they will try to continue to enforce the ordinance. Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
The FBI is now leading the investigation into a string of suspicious letters sent to election offices in Oregon and Washington. King County got an envelope Tuesday that contained fentanyl. Similar letters arrived in Skagit and Spokane counties. In the meantime, in Pierce County, where Tacoma is located, a letter arrived from Portland reading, "End the election now," and it was marked with what appeared to be an Antifa symbol. Here in Oregon, a suspicious letter disrupted operations at the Lane County Elections Office.
This was an attempt not only to terrorize the people that work in this building, but also to disrupt the democratic process. And that's reprehensible on so many levels.
So it's not just happening here in the Pacific Northwest. Elections offices in LA, Sacramento, and Atlanta all report getting suspicious envelopes too. In honor of Veterans Day, the Oregon Historical Society will offer free admission to veterans, active duty military, and their families. The offer is good both Saturday and Sunday. What you're looking at here are photos of one of the exhibitions. It's called Birds of the Pacific Coast and features more than 50 original illustrations. If you'd like more information, you can go to the OHS website. That's ohs.org. Okay, let's check in with Rod in the Weather Center. You are talking about the overcast skies sticking around.
Yeah, you know, a lot of us, Brenda, have had a nice day so far. I do want to show you where it's been more wet than I was expecting. But let me take you through the rest of today into this evening. Ball of moisture feeding into us. Now, we have some sun breaks out there, so that's not too bad right now in Portland. But rain's gathering along the Washington coast. That does include Long Beach, and it's starting to gather along the Astoria, Clatsop County area as well. We've had some showers push through parts of Cowlitz County. Battlegrounds had a touch of rain, Tillamook as well. So far, this is where it's been, and really from Portland, Canby, McMinnville, Salem down to Newport, it's been dry. I don't expect this overall line of shower activity to alter much this afternoon, but where it is threatening, it could turn into increasing rain shower activity. So here's the Astoria-Meckler Bridge from the camera up at the column. And this is an area that could turn out to be increasingly wet in the next couple of hours. 53 is your number. Portland's looking good, and we'll be mainly dry at least through, I think, the daytime hours. We're at 53. No complaints there. I have us getting up to 57. If you have plans this evening, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, Portland could be the southern edge of an increase of some light rain coming in. Bigger story, Brenda, is that front that comes in tomorrow. We'll talk about your Saturday, Sunday forecast in just a bit.
See you then. Thanks, Rod. OSP is now on the case after a Salem police officer shot a man last night. Here's what we know at this point. Police say they got a call about a man pointing a gun at drivers at a Popeyes restaurant on Northeast Lancaster Drive. Officers say they found him a few blocks away, and he pointed what appeared to be a gun at a policeman sitting in his squad car. That officer shot the man, who's now in the hospital. He is expected to survive, and nobody else got hurt. The Portland Public School District is accusing striking teachers of unfair labor practices and may file a complaint with the state. They say rallies like this one outside the Oregon Convention Center are disrupting the process as bargaining teams negotiate inside. But PPS goes even further than that, saying the teachers have targeted 2 district leaders by rallying outside their homes. In the meantime, dozens of students showed up outside another mediation session to support their teachers and call for an end to the strike. Here's KGW's Alma McCarty with that part of the story.
Since the beginning of the strike, the Portland Association of Teachers has stressed that their demands and their actions have been focused on student success.
The teachers' support is foundational to the support of the students.
All right, we all want to go back to school.
Thursday afternoon, dozens from elementary to high school showed up outside the mediation location to back their teachers.
Because we want to support our teachers.
They really do deserve all of what they're asking for.
I've always been a huge supporter of our teachers. I think what the district is doing to them is plain wrong.
Teachers are such a large part of your education, so it's really important that our teachers get the classrooms and the pay that they need in order to teach us well.
Whose schools?
High schoolers across the district telling me they're out here because they've seen firsthand what educators face daily. They're pushing PPS to work swiftly with the union and reach a deal, one with wage increases for cost of living, with smaller classes, and with more planning time.
Just listen to what the teachers have to say, because I don't feel like none of this is really an unreasonable request.
It's important not only to the teachers but to the students, and that they have that responsibility is theirs.
Despite their attendance at Thursday's rally, they'd rather be in schools.
I mean, I already know that there are some classes where we're having to study on our own just simply to stay on track for where we are, because teachers can't teach, so we have to find other methods to do it.
Absolutely, I'm worried about catching up back in the classroom. You know, it's inevitable in a strike, but I think the strike is extremely well managed.
District officials writing they'll continue to meet in person Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and remain eager that we can reopen our schools to students on Monday. Alma McCarty, KGW News.
And stay with us for the latest on the Portland teachers strike. You can look for updates on negotiations on air and online.